$1 billion Russian mega plane just went up in flames 6,000 kilometers from the front line. Hey, quick! Not before we start, some as always, English isn't my first language, and this is genuinely a part of how I practice it, reading every word out loud live. So, if something sounds off, correct me in the comments. It actually helps now. Let's get into this because relocation alone makes it wild. A massive explosion and fire just tore through Russian Amur gas chemical complex, an $11 billion joint project between Russia and China, 6,000 kilometers from Ukraine, in Russian Far East, near the China border. Sit with that distance for a second, 6,000 kilometers. We planned was in final testing just 2 weeks from launch. It was set to become one of the largest polymer production facilities on Earth. Reports on casualties vary depending on the source. Somewhere between 2 and 7 people killed, most of them Chinese nationals working on site, with well over 100 people treated for injuries, and some workers are still reported missing. Here's where it gets more clear, and I wanted to be honest with you about that. Russian officials are calling this an industrial incident under investigation. Some reports mention a Ukraine linked group claiming responsibility for sabotage. Nobody has confirmed which one it actually was yet. So I am not going to pretend I know for certain. I don't. Stop with me here for a second because this matter every way. Whatever this was sabotage or an incident, a project this massive, sitting in Russian most remote territory just went up in flames right as tension with Trump's administration were already speaking over economic pressure on Iran. What would that timing make you think if you were watching from Moscow right now? Tell me honestly in the comments because there's a whole separate thread running alongside this. Ukraine had been hammering Russian logistic hubs for weeks, striking massive warehouses tied to companions like Viber's Russian's version of Amazon and Amazon a competitor. One Russian region reported a logistic hub completely destroyed by fire after a drone attack. Tens of thousands of square meters burned, and on Ukraine's Independence Day, something different happened. Instead of the usual military parade, Ukraine held a drone parade, showing off what officials describe as an entirely new domestic defense industry built almost from scratch during the war. But I don't want to make this sound like everything going Ukrainians way because it genuinely isn't. Ukraine's former defense minister speaking publicly said the country still has every chance to win this war, but warned that weak coordination and the slow deployment of available technology are holding it back. Real internal criticism from someone who helped build the drones program himself. Meanwhile, at a ceremony in the Kiev, the UK Premier's Minister made a public pledge continued support for Ukraine's air defense sections amid at the cutting of Russia's military supply chains. Deeper cooperation on technology. Here's my honest take. When a web reaches the point where unexplained explosions rip through target 6,000 kilometers from the fighting, that is a sign this conflict has stopped being contained to a single front line in almost every sense of the word. I wanted to be fair both until with confirmed cause jumping straight to this was definitely sabotage would be getting ahead of the fact. Sometimes industrial incidents really are just incidents, especially during a high-risk commissioning work like this. So, tell me, if a plane that fell from any battlefield burns down under mysterious circumstances right in the middle of rising economic tensions, would you call that a coincidence or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts below. I really want you to hear what you think.